Okay, Vimal, before we speak, what do you have to say about this entire process? How was it?
Uh, it was good. Some unexpected questions, which I did not prepare. So yeah, but some of the question I had prepared. So yeah, it was some came quite easily to me. Some not prepared where I had to think a little bit and I mumble a little bit also. So yeah, it was mixed experience.
Okay, so what do you have to say? Are you through in this round?
Uh, 50-50, I'm not sure.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so
Mm,
much for your honest opinion and feedback for your whole self. So let's
sure.
hear from Prerna. Prerna, over to you.
Yes. So, to be very honest, a very positive feedback, I would say.
Mhm.
Uh, in terms of, I would say, understanding concepts, yes. But to be very precise, some of your answers were really quite bookish. Bookish as in, it was as if, you did have a theoretical paper in front of you. Though I'm not saying it's wrong. It is some people's way of saying. But then, some of the answers can be more generic. Like instead of going point by point, you can be like, okay, I take care of this. And second and
Mhm.
most important observation is, Vimal, though it is a really great thing that you didn't get blank anywhere, or you did not see, you at least, I think, almost answered almost all the questions, which is a very good thing. But then
Mhm.
I will recommend you or advise you that when somebody asks you the very first question about, tell me about yourself, or you have to start with your introduction, try to keep it little shorter.
Okay.
What you did was, and we and Gaurav, we both were I think even Gaurav will echo this with me. We were waiting for you to stop because you actually gave us the entire summary of your profile, which is okay.
Mhm.
But try to
Mhm.
make it a little shorter because it's like we also have some set of our program or how the session will go. So it was a very lengthy talk. Though you can do that later, which you did, right? So for me, if I
Okay.
have to start, your introduction has to be hit on the head, and then you went a little more in detail about your activities. Okay, so that can be little curtailed, which is okay.
Okay.
Okay. Second, don't sound too bookish. You can sound, and apart from that, please talk about talk in continuous present tense. I mean, I
Mhm.
heard you talking about I will or I could. So you say no, I do this, or I have been doing this. It's like, so it will sound more like that you're already a part of this process and you're working in that. Okay. Knowledge
Okay.
wise, I would say you were very decent, and and then do try to listen to the question properly, like and see, to
Mhm.
be frank, we do make this session very typical and very formal. Okay, we could have
Mhm.
asked you simple Q&As like what are stakeholders, what is BID, but we
Mhm.
want to give you that understanding or that feel of actual interview, so we kind of twist it and we make it like a statement, so
Mhm.
I even asked you quite straightforward question, but I ensured that they won't sound straightforward. So
Right.
I did ask you about stakeholders, but then I asked you how you interact with them. So I had to
Yeah.
kind of explain that to you because you were like, what was the question again? So that's
Mhm.
okay. It's a first timer, absolutely fine. But then
Mhm.
give more attention. And then if you feel that you did not understand, ask right away. When
Yeah.
I finish and you feel that okay, you might not have, so you can repeat yourself that I would like to repeat myself. Is it the right question? And then we can
Mhm.
go ahead. But overall,
Okay.
if you ask me, Vimal, very good efforts. The way you are presenting yourself in formal shirts, good attire, and neat and clean, good lighting. Even these things are very important when you're
Mhm.
giving remote interviews, right? So it's absolutely on point. Full
Right.
points on that. And overall, your confidence level, your body language also sounded quite decent. But
Okay.
the last point is when Gaurav asked you, what is the question? You have any questions? So your question was little direct, so it's like, yeah, I mean, while giving interviews, we don't generally come up with that question. Yeah, but the good or rather a positive question would be, what are the roles and responsibilities in your organization for this role? Or what are the growth
Mhm.
prospects for this role? Because you're coming for this role. So things can be little customized for your role. Though you did ask the question in later, but in a little different manner, right? So
Right, right.
overall, very positive. I would say it
Okay.
was not 50-50. For me, it was 75-25 or 80-20. 80
Okay,
being on the
okay.
positive side. So very good. The knowledge base, the answers, good. And there is some scope for improvement, but still you're on the right track. So thank you so
Sure.
much. I really enjoyed. I felt good as a trainer that okay, you were answering things. So yes, Gaurav, over to you.
Yeah. So yes, I'm audible. So first thing that for me, you are through in the round one. So if only
Thank
it
you.
would have been round one, I would have hired you. That's number one.
Thank
Number
you. Thank
two,
you.
is that yeah, whatever Prerna said, that I totally align with that. Few times it sounded like bookish.
Hmm.
We wanted you to go through, and this is for everyone who are listening. So we want you to go through entire project what you have listed, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and visualize that in that company as if what you would have done already. And then when you are sitting with in front of us, try to recall what you have visualized repeatedly every single day. Okay, then it encoded in your body that you had been already part of that. At least can you do one thing until you are getting into a new job? Can you visualize every single day in the current company you are doing certain activities, playing with Jira, connecting with different people, talking to them, start imagining yourself you are connecting over the call, over the Zoom, and working towards one small module. The more you will visualize, when you will be sitting in the interview, your body will start recalling that as if you are already part of some organization, and your body is completely convinced that you are actually talking about a live project where you had been the part. And it can only happen when you will bring that visualization in every single day. And for that very reason, we had shared one visualization meditation as well for you, so that it will be very easy for you to sit in the project and then recall it. Okay, so that
Yeah.
will help you to answer certain question in present tense, or as if you had already worked into that, just to help you to answer such a question with more authority and with more vulnerability, I would say. Means whatever things went wrong in the reality or went right, you had been the authoritative person over there, and you came out of that. So that's one thing. The quick thing is that because you told that 11 years of experience, generally the technical questions or basic foundational questions are not asked to those who are
Mm-hmm.
towards somewhere experienced, but we ask these kind of questions. If you would have told that 3 years of experience or 5 years of experience or up to 7 years of experience, we would have asked you more towards what is Scrum, what is framework,
Mm-hmm.
what is Kanban, and different types of framework, and all those technical stuff that you had been taught in last 2 months, I would say. So that's the second thing. And third thing, I mean, yeah, the last point I'm again echoing with the Prerna about when I asked you, do you have any question about that? And yeah, the good part is again, you were fluent, continuously talking. Even though you were talking, try to be into box talking. What do I mean by box talking? Box talking is that your context should be aligned. Okay, what
Mm-hmm.
I am asking, you are answering. Don't go out of that context. Like if I'm asking about scope management, and if you will talk about budget management, or control management is okay, but budget management, that will be something may not come in alignment. Or even though if you want to bring it into alignment, try to align it and let interviewer understand for what context you were talking. Okay, rest
Right.
all good. I think that you should continue to ramp up your understanding towards more these stuff, like you
Mm-hmm.
were answering control management and all. So whatever you could know, you have to just reflect back and talk back. That's it. So I'm good with this interview. Only the thing is what one thing generally Prerna does, I don't do that, making you comfortable. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, we made sure that you came here and you became comfortable. Otherwise, I go in a very sharpshooter mode and I continue to
Okay.
ask question, and person become uncomfortable. So
Mm.
make sure that before you are going to any interview, you are already comfortable. Okay.
Sure.
So when you are comfortable, the way you have answered Vimal, it's like a
Mm.
casual interview. Whether I get it, I don't get it, I don't give it a damn to it. So this should be the attitude, okay? That
Mm.
as if
Mm.
you are already having some good job in your hand, and this attitude has to be reflective, and it means that you are not desperate, okay? And yet it is going to come to you. So these
Sure.
are the
Sure.
small things are going to matter, and you have to appear likewise. So any question around you? I think what Prerna said, I said, these are the input for you for next interview. A quick thing is that now you don't have to wait for the right interview to come, okay, in front of you. In
Mm.
fact, whatever your HRs are posting inside the group, this is one, this is the requirement. You make your profile as per the requirement coming to you. Even if you don't know any technical stuff inside that, connect with me and Prerna, and we will make sure that technical part are well known to you and you become master into that. We can make
Sure.
you that ready. Okay. But
Sure. Sure.
just don't wait that, you have to just wait for one right proper requirement to match with you, and then you start getting clear. We want
Mm.
now you to start getting less simple.
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
So
That's
this
the
is
goal.
one
Yes.
thing. Yeah. One question. Any question? So yeah, one question has come to me as if, so guys, if you are putting your question, put in Q&A so that I can read your name. But yeah, does the interviewer ask any scenario based question, like any work to show live? It depends. They may ask, say for example, few questions we ask that uh, tell me some critical part, some challenging part you overcome you overcame using your analytical skill. So in your recent project that you might have demonstrated. So such question may appear, live question, sub scenario based question may come. I mean, depending upon how the conversation is going on, that is the time, it may just generally can come up. It cannot be immediately cooked up. It cannot be immediately made up, but based on the conversation, it may appear. You have to say something on this, Prerna? The question is there. You are on mute.
Yes, yes, yeah. I read that. See, these questions, what questions can be asked? It's itself a tricky question. Okay. Now, the way Gaurav said, see, here we have a good cop, bad cop, or even a balanced way of interview for everyone. So there can be scenario where an interviewer might be little aggressive, or might have a very straightforward, blunt way of asking questions. So they could ask you direct question based on your CV. And yes, there are scenario based questions. So coming back to your particular question is, when you have around 5 to 6 years, or little senior or mid level experience that you're mentioning in your CV, most of the questions would be scenario based, or experience based, or your activity based. I mean, nobody would come and ask you a direct Q&A question. What is the difference between agile and waterfall? Please don't expect that. And that's not even a question that they can ask you. They might ask you, okay, so if you, per se, if you have an experience of 10 plus years, so they might ask you, if you had worked in agile and now you're in, sorry, you're working waterfall and now you're working in agile, so do you see any difference, or how do you manage the change? And how did you overcome that transitioning? So something like that. So try to get the gist of the question. That's the understanding. They can ask you any variety of question depending on their background and their experience. But most of the times, those all questions will always be related to your profile and your background. Most of the time. See, there can be a person, like I am from development point of view, right? But still, I did not choose to ask you a SQL question. But then Gaurav did, because he also have a QA background and he's also very keen, right? If somebody with different profile, like for you, it was more of marketing and MBA. If somebody MCA comes and they show their project management or agile scrum, then I might ask them that, did you while in initial career, while working as a developer, did that help you in your current role? You get it? So it's a mix and match, and always do one thing perfectly, is listen to them correctly. When you understand the question, that's halfway done. So you know what to prepare and what to answer. Even if you don't answer completely to their expectation, at least they know that you understood their question. So that is the one thing about communication. And yes, scenario based questions, experience based question, domain based question. If you remember in our session, we have entire 1 or 2 dedicated session where Gaurav explains all the domains in detail, right? So they might ask you, and which is okay, don't worry. And the way Gaurav said, take these interview sessions in a very chill manner, as in, there should not be any anxiety, panicking things. You just have to go with the flow. It's like you already got the job, or it's like you already have 5 things in pipeline, and you're just going with a very quiet and sensible mind, and you relax. Because when you relax, your mind works better, and you're able to answer better. So yes, there is no hard and fast cut on what kind of questions they might ask you, but then it will be all related. There'll be nothing out of the box most of the time. Yeah, Gaurav.
Yeah. So Nikita says, great session, lot of learning. Thank you so much. We are glad that you are learning, everyone. So another question we have, will we be asked to do any SQL query live? Generally not. It only may happen when you are boasting that I am, king in SQL or something like that. So if you go in that way, that some, interviewer we don't know, that they may come up, or something job description is only towards SQL, and they are also mentioning that we want some technical BA should be well versed in SQL. That is the time they may check few of the generic SQL query that and at the end, what the hack I can give you when it comes to SQL. You are BAs, okay, and you don't have to be master into that, but you should be aware that how queries are written. At the end, you can tell that because things have been so much compartmentalized that you are working with your peers being developers, and Google is always there. SQL query writing will not be very critical. So these kind of answers would also be appreciated. However, be prepared, not at least 100%. Even 30 to 70% will help you if you can answer to such technical BA profile interviews question. Okay, that I wanted to say. Yeah, Prerna.
Yeah, just to add to this, Gaurav, see, nowadays, or like last recent years, SQL has kind of been added. It's like an add-on, good to have skill for BAs or Scrum Masters or anybody who wants to be in Agile, because as Vimal was saying that he is a part of requirement gathering process, scope analysis. So because BAs have this much knowledge, they are generally invited or expected or recommended to do testing also, right? So while testing, you might have to play a little bit with SQL, with SQL Server. And by the way, nowadays the editors are so smart. You get all the syntax, how to write a query, everything. So unless somebody is really a fresher or beginner, just to test their knowledge, they do ask queries, but that has also reduced a lot, because nowadays everybody knows that all the editors, they're very user friendly. So even if you have some background, some understanding of how to write a basic query or where join or whatnot, conditioning, you would be able to understand. But still, I think in the sessions also we say that W3 schools, you can just Google this. It's like the one of the most helpful website for any beginner or intermediate level. Go through that, try to learn, because it's like having an additional feather in your cap. For if you know SQL. So out of the 10 people, if you know SQL, then definitely your weightage will be a little better than others. But it's not mandatory again. If you're not comfortable, if you have not seen it anytime and you feel like it's too much for you, it's fine if you don't go ahead. But then if you do, it will be really great for your profile. You can have that additional skill. So yeah, Gaurav, I think we are towards the end. It's almost dot 1 hour. So
I
yeah.
have one question.
Yeah, Vimal.
So in our profile, we show both BA and Scrum working as a BA and Scrum. So if they, so how do we present ourselves? Are we doing Scrum Master role as well, or are we are just helping the Scrum Master? If interviewer asks.
Okay, so Gaurav, can I? So yeah, so definitely it should be related to the job profile that you have. If the job profile says they're looking for a Scrum Master, then emphasize on this part that you are currently actively working as a Scrum Master. If the profile is for BA, then you can also say I'm a BA, but I closely work with Scrum Master. See, basically,
Okay.
what we have to do is we have to align our profile with their existing role. So when you come and for interview, it should be like, oh, it's 100% match. You have to create that aura with your answers, with your profile. So you have to customize a little because you know both the activities, you know both the responsibilities, you know how they work very closely, right? So depending on the existing job opportunity or what are their expectations, because while the way you asked Gaurav, what is this? So you got to know what profile it is, or also from the job description that you get from HR, you know what they're looking for. So always try to. Yeah, Gaurav, over to you.
I don't know whether my
Yeah, good
speaker
to
has
you. Can
gone.
you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, over to you. I'm done. Thank you.
Okay,
I hope that
so
answers.
yeah, so the thing is that your question when it comes to BA or Scrum, so again, as Prerna said, that be prepared for that and continue to talk that you can switch the role, okay, whenever it comes. And in the current company, you have worked in the both the roles, and accordingly, based on the requirement, you can highlight the one for which you are going for the interview. Okay, so this is how you can do that. Right? Did I answer this? Did
Yes.
we answer this? Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
thanks. So Desdemona says that, thanks for answering my question, Prerna and Gaurav. You are welcome, Desdemona. So cool. So anything else, guys? Vimal, from your end, anything? No,
No, that's
nothing? Okay,
thank
all
you.
right. So we wish you all the very, very best and do well, bring some good news for us so that we would love to continue to support you once you get placed as well. And yeah,
Yes.
looking forward. So don't be like that, now your mock interview is done. You're just chilling and relaxed. Now
No, Gaurav,
run
I just wanted
behind
to
the,
add, we
yeah.
can have additional mock interview sessions also because generally, as per our experience of the candidates who got placed, if you give a couple of more mock interviews, like right now we are alone, right? If we
Yeah.
have other people like I guess Monica, Tilo, and I think Desdemona, even their CVs are almost done, the reviews are pending. So if you guys come together as a team, we can have a mock session as a group discussion or maybe particularly more focused towards one person, others can be in background, but be in this sessions, be in this zone because the more you'll focus. See, tell me, Vimal, honestly, how you're feeling now than compared to earlier of the session. You feeling little bit better about yourself? Like, be honest. If not, you can say
Yes.
otherwise.
Yes, this
Yeah.
was my first mock interview as a
Yes.
BA. So yeah, I mean, definitely, I think I can I can improve better next time. Definitely.
Great. So
Yeah.
you think you can improve? That means you're already at this stage and you are gonna go up. So this is why we are trying to do this here, right? So more people we have, you have that energy, you have that mindset, you have that goal, and we have this prepared resource pool with us. Because trust me, when I speak to Dev sir, we know that there are ample of opportunities for you guys. You just have to be there at the right time, at the right place, right? So prepare yourself. You can collaborate. We have the mock interview group. We have almost 16 people here, out of which I think 12 odd are there. So whosoever is ready with your CV, they want to have this kind of sessions, please let us know. We can have 2 people, 3 people, depending on
Yeah,
the
definitely.
availability
We
and
can have
readiness.
multiple round of
Yes,
thing. So
it
if you
will
are
be really
prepared,
helpful for you.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Gaurav.
so whenever you feel that you are ready for round two, you can definitely reach back to us. That's number one. Number two,
Sure.
rest of you, if you are listening and if you think that you are ready, reach back to us, and we will have on this timing itself, more or less towards your Saturday morning. And why Saturday morning? There is a science behind it, because we want to give you the real experience as if you are getting ready and approaching in your daytime towards your your new interview. And the same experience will be encoded in your body and mind, and that you can repeat and retrieve. Thomas have some question. Okay, Thomas raised his hand and lowered down. So Thomas, if you have any question, you can definitely type in the chat window. Otherwise, in Q&A session, or else we are done. If you have raised his in your hand by mistake, that's all right as
I
well.
think that was by mistake. I've answered
Okay.
to that time.
Okay. So cool.
Yeah.
So we are good now. So the recording will be provided to you. I have coded about visualizing part. So again, if you have the playlist, go and look for the visualization session and do more of it. And in case you don't have, anyway, it will be provided to you. Yeah. So okay, we can then call it. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Vimal.
you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Gaurav. Thank you guys
Yeah,
for
Thank you,
joining.
everyone.
Thank
Happy
you, all of
weekend.
you.
Bye-bye.
Happy weekend.
Bye.
And all the best, Vimal. Looking forward to hear from
Thank you.
Yeah.
All the best.
Uh,
Bye-bye.
offer.
Take care.
Bye-bye.